our national president, who's been a local president out in Windsor in the Chrysler plants and has worked his way up and has been on the National Executive Committee longer than we have been with the CAW since '99, and a true labor union leader, a passionate individual, not just for workers but the community in general. I would like a great round of applause for our national union leader, Mr. Ken Lewis.
Right, yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. First of all, let me make a couple clarifications to Steve, Dwayne, and the bargaining committee. I'm not the most powerful trade union leader in the country or the world, but we are the most powerful union when we act collectively and we care about one another. It isn't about one leader. It's not even about your bargaining committee today. As I talked to Bob Orr last night and Manir in your bargaining committee, before the bargaining committee made the toughest decision of their life, and the toughest decision that any bargaining committee can ask of themselves is whether we should withdraw our labor from an employer. You have given this bargaining committee the authority to represent your interest. You have given this bargaining committee the authority through a 95% strike vote to represent your interest and the interest of your family and the interest of your community. And I can tell you, in the last few minutes I've talked to your bargaining committee, and it was a gut-wrenching decision. But the reality of the confidence that's built in them is going to be built on your solidarity, on your determination, on your need to represent the interest of our membership collectively. The bargaining committee needs each and every one of you to come together to make sure that nobody crosses the picket line and scabs the Canadian Auto Workers Union. And in doing that, I think Steve said it right. Steve said it better than I can possibly say it. Nobody likes a strike today. In fact, if you take a look at it, if you take a look at each other today, genuinely, we had the legal right to strike at the end of June, at the expiration of our collective agreement. But it was decided to keep the discussions going. It was decided to keep trying to bargain a settlement. But in these times, these employers, not just sellers, but employers more generally, are taking advantage of this global financial crisis and trying to roll back workers' wages, benefits, and conditions back 25 years.
That's the whole point.
And the only way that workers can stand up for dignity and respect in the workplace is stand up as a collective force, telling an employer that we need our jobs, but we also want to be treated with respect and dignity, and the collective agreement and the collective agreement and the achievements that you have collectively established over the last 25 years is important to you today as it was when they were implemented each and every 3 years during the terms of those collective agreements. So brothers and sisters, I'm here today to offer you the support of the Canadian Auto Workers Union, to say to Zellers Corporation, do not undermine the determination of our union to make progress for our members in our community. Do not take this for granted. Do not believe that whether it's the first day, the 15th day, or the 30th day, workers will be scared and come back to work under the conditions that you dropped off on the table 2 days ago. I can tell you that the bargaining committee made themselves available right up until the deadline. We were calling the employer right up until the deadline, asking them to come back to the bargaining table with a proposal that we can take back to the membership that gives progress forward, not backwards. And we're not asking for the moon. Everybody around us should know today, workers are settling for less because of the global financial crisis, because of the economic challenges we have, because of the fear that employers have put in the hearts and minds of workers throughout the country. But brothers and sisters, we gotta stand together in respect for what we've our past and respect the fact that we're entitled to improvements moving forward. And I want to say to Zellers directly that today is day one of the strike. And I'm asking you on behalf of the over 300 members of Local 1000 to get back to the bargaining table with a sense of determination to have a collective agreement that meets our needs and our expectations, for we can work with the company moving forward. Bearing that type of a response, we will send out a message to all of our communities that has a Zeller store in their communities that we will protest and boycott Zeller stores in our community. And that's not something that we do lightly, because we know it's a difficult process to achieve long term. But Zellers, the ownership of Zellers, the reality is this is not Walmart. The reality is these are workers that have committed to your workplace. These are workers that have adapted to the significant change in the work environment over the last 25 years. These are workers right up until today believe that they were respected by their employer and thought there was an opportunity to get a collective agreement. And you let them down. Not the CAW. Zellers, you let CAW members down of Local 1000, and you must be held accountable for the actions of our membership today. So brothers and sisters, I ask each and every one of you on day one of this strike, and I commit to you that we are going to work as hard as we possibly can to get the management people back to the bargaining table, but not back to the bargaining table with a message of retreat, back to the bargaining table with a message of respect for their workforce and members of Local 1000. So I say to the bargaining committee that had the courage last night to use the strength of their membership to say no to the final proposal offered by the members, to stay strong, stay united, stay committed to the members. The only way we can remain strong, committed, and united with each other's objective of getting a good collective agreement is you support your bargaining committee and you support each other during this time of crisis. So one more time, I'm a proud president of the Canadian Auto Workers Union. I'd be much happier to go to a ratification meeting where we've seen progress, where workers had an opportunity to obviously provide a reasonable standard of living for their family. But this employer forced us on strike today. They forced us on strike today. And I say to Zellers, don't question the determination of this collective group. Don't question the determination of the CAW. What you ought to do is get to the bargaining table and bargain a fair and just collective agreement.
Yes.
And brothers and sisters, you've got the entire support of the Canadian Auto Workers Union, expanded out to the total labor movement if necessary. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be part of this message today.